Shame.
You don't need to talk about
Shame.
age. We love each other. Age doesn't matter. We love each other.
Shame.
Hey class, welcome back. It's the Professor of Mess back with another video. In today's session, we'll be starting a new Crash Course series in which we'll review some of the most iconic couples from TLC's hit Hot Ass Mess, 90 Day Fiance. In case you're not familiar, 90 Day Fiance is a reality series that documents the ups and mostly downs of couples navigating the K-1 visa process, which is a visa available to non-American fiancés of US citizens and is valid for only 90 days. The show has been so massively popular that it's inspired numerous spin-offs, including 90 Day the Other Way, in which Americans move abroad to be with their long-distance lovers, as opposed to the other way around. In today's session, we'll take a look back on one of the most well-known and perhaps controversial couples from 90 Day Fiancé, Sumit and Jenny. So grab your popcorn and your pencils, and let's begin. Once upon a time, many centuries ago, in a faraway land, a young girl set sail to come over to the New World and discover a new life filled with new adventures. Fast forward to the 21st century, and that young girl has grown up to be Jenny, a resort worker in Palm Springs, California. Although Jenny lives in California for now, she's actually in the process of moving overseas to live with her handsome young boyfriend, Michael Jones. Just kidding, she's actually moving overseas to be with this motherfucker right here, Sumit. Jenny and Sumit first started talking back in 2013 when Sumit was working in a call center and Jenny called in to get some help when her damn Life Alert bracelet got to malfunctioning. Just kidding again. Actually, Sumit's company forced all their employees to use a Western-sounding name while working in the call center, and it just so happens that the name they gave Sumit was Michael Jones. So Sumit was like, fuck it, if I'm going to pretend to be Michael Jones, might as well go all in, come up with a damn fake profile, and start catfishing some Western bitches. So Sumit, aka Michael, started talking to Jenny, and she sent him some photos, and he instantly fell in love with her big blue eyes, long blonde locks, and marigold-colored teeth. And poor Jenny thought she had to hit the damn jackpot and found her a young Indian stud muffin who just so happened to have a damn Estelle Getty fetish. But then Sumit went on ahead and broke the news to Jenny that he was catfishing her ass and revealed his true identity to her over a Skype call. At first Jenny was disappointed, but then she was like, well hell, close enough. I mean, you look alright, and you're still young enough to play around with my grandchildren, and I can give you some damn lunch money or arcade money, and buy you some damn cereal and toys and shit, so I think this is gonna work out just fine. And then Sumit became more enamored than ever because when Jenny saw him for the first time, she told him he was adorable. And Sumit says no girl has ever called him adorable in his life before. And I hate to break it to you, Sumit, but ain't no girl still ever said that to you because it's been many damn centuries since Jenny been a girl. But I get your point, it is flattering. So anyway, from there, the relationship between Sumit and Jenny continued to blossom, and they decided it was time to take this May-December romance to the next level by actually meeting face to face. So Sumit invited Jenny to come stay with him for a while in India. But there's one catch. Sumit still lives with his parents, which is very common in Indian culture. And he knows that they would never approve of him dating someone older than the damn Taj Mahal. So when Jenny arrives in India, Sumit introduced her to his parents, and they were like, oh my goodness, Queen Elizabeth, it's so wonderful to meet you, Your Highness. Now, India not part of the British Empire no more, so we don't know what the hell you're doing here, but we sure do welcome you. But then Sumit told them, nah, mom and dad, this here is Jenny, and she my Facebook friend who just visited India, and she need a place to stay. And so at first they were happy to welcome Jenny into their home because Sumit mama thought he had brought her a new friend she could hang out with. And Jenny and Sumit mama actually did hit it off at first. They were going out shopping together and going to the damn senior citizen center and playing bingo and shit. But then Sumit daddy started noticing that Sumit sure was spending an awful lot of time up in Jenny's room at nighttime. So Sumit's parents confronted him about his relationship with Jenny, and he confessed that Jenny wasn't just his Facebook friend after all. She was actually his girlfriend. It turns out that Jenny was Sumit's mama's pinochle and shuffleboard partner by day, and Sumit's horizontal mambo partner by night.
I took his virginity. There's no law against that.
And yes, as gross as it is to imagine, Jenny old trifling, disrespectful ass that made Sumit a man right there under his parents' roof. In an ancient ceremony she's been performing for centuries now, in order to renew her life force and provide her with immortality. So naturally, Sumit's parents were just disgusted and beside themselves to hear this news, and his mama was like, "Bitch, how could you? I looked up to you. You was like a damn grandmother to me, and you tell me you been fucking on my damn son right under my damn roof?"
Shame.
So they put Jenny's ass out, and then they was like, "Look, sorry, bitch, you gonna have to take your ass right back where you came from. Find you a man your own damn age, like Bob Barker, or damn Henry Kissinger, or Methuselah or somebody." So Jenny left, and Sumit's parents forbade him from ever dating or seeing her again. But even though Jenny and Sumit were thousands of miles apart in geography and hundreds of years apart in age, like in any good love story, they did not let these challenges stand in the way of their fairy tale romance. They continued secretly talking for years, and their love only continued to grow despite the distance and the disapproval from Sumit's family. In fact, their relationship has grown so much that Jenny has decided that she's about to move her ass on over to India permanently so she and Sumit can get married and live happily ever after once and for all. So Jenny is about to leave to start her new life with Sumit in India, and she invites all her children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren and her great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren over to the house to see her off. And Jenny's family is a little bit worried about this major risk that she's taking, but they know Jenny is a strong woman who has lived through many centuries of challenges, oppression, world wars, and plagues and shit, so this should be a damn cakewalk in comparison. So Jenny arrives in India, and at first everything is picture perfect. Sumit lied to his parents and told them he was moving to Mumbai to take a new job, when in reality he's rented a fly-ass apartment for him and Jenny to enjoy just on the other side of town. And Jenny is enjoying her life in India so damn much that she's been pushing Sumit to go ahead and marry her old ass so she can stay long term and just build a full new life there with him. And that sounds all fine and dandy, but unfortunately for Jenny, it turns out that old catfishing ass Sumit is back on his bullshit, and he's been keeping yet another major secret from her.
And the big secret is that I'm married.
Yes, bitch. While Jenny was away in the US for the past few years, Sumit's parents arranged a marriage on his ass. So he's been married to an Indian woman his own age for the past 2 years, and unbeknownst to Jenny, she's been carrying on with a married man all this time. But Sumit says he's been miserable in his marriage from the beginning and never wanted to get married in the first place. But the immense pressure he felt from his parents and society proved to be just too much, and he caved. And Sumit says he's been wanting to come clean to Jenny, but just couldn't quite find the right time to do it. You know, like before she quit her job and left everything and moved halfway across the world to marry your already married ass. Yeah, that might have been a good time, motherfucker. But anyway, one day Sumit's parents find out that he'd been shacking up with Jenny all this time instead of working in Mumbai as he had previously told them, so they pull up on his ass, along with his in-laws. Jenny could only watch in horror as both families angrily confronted Sumit and dragged his lying ass away and back to his parents' house. So after a week of torment, not knowing what happened to Sumit and what was to become of their relationship, Jenny finally reunites with Sumit when he convinces his parents to lift his punishment for a couple of hours just so he can go talk to Jenny and let her know what's going on.
You are grounded!
Sumit explains to Jenny that he never meant to hurt her and he had always wanted to tell her, but just couldn't find the nerve. But now that his wife's family has found out about Jenny, they're threatening to file some trumped up charges against Sumit to try to get him put in jail unless he leaves Jenny the hell alone and agrees to their demands. Both Jenny and Sumit are very emotional, and although Jenny is angry at Sumit for lying to her and bringing her to India under false pretenses, she does understand how difficult of a situation he was in and finds empathy and forgiveness in her heart for Sumit. But she also knows this means she's going to have to abandon her dream of marrying Sumit and living happily ever after with him in India, at least for now. So after what both Sumit and Jenny describe as the best 5 months of their lives, Jenny makes an extremely emotional departure from India, leaving behind a devastated Sumit who vows to do whatever it takes to get Jenny back to India for good. So fast forward to season 2, and we see Jenny has returned home to California and is living on her daughter's couch. She has no job, no car, no money, and no man. But she is happy to just be able to spend some quality time with her family. But in her heart of hearts, Jenny just wants to be back in India with her miniature little love machine, Sumit. So she decides to give him another chance as long as he promises to file for divorce so he can finally give Jenny her happily ever after that she's been waiting for since the damn Middle Ages. So Jenny packs up all her shit and once again calls all her many generations of descendants over to the house to see her off as she makes the journey back to India to be with Sumit. And luckily, Sumit has in fact managed to get the divorce process underway. According to Sumit and his attorney, Indian law makes it such that divorce is a very long and complicated process that can sometimes last up to 5 years unless both parties can come to a mutual agreement. Now the good news is that Sumit was able to come to an agreement with his first wife on the terms of their divorce. The bad news is that they demanded Sumit pay them $20,000 for all the lost time and expense his wife's family incurred as a result of this sham of a damn marriage. Sumit doesn't have anywhere near that amount in savings, and he actually quit his job at the call center back in season 1 in order to be able to spend more time with Jenny. So he has to borrow the $20,000 from his family, who agreed to the loan so he can be free of this toxic marriage, but they still hope that he'll move on from Jenny and find somebody his own age. But of course, Sumit has no intention of letting his gorgeous granny go. So he's found a cheaper house 2 hours away from Delhi for them to live in, and he begins making plans for how to pay the money back so he can make a future with Jenny. And now that Sumit's divorce is final, he begins planning a ring ceremony, and from there they plan to get married in an Ira Samaj ceremony, which, unlike other types of marriage, would allow them to get married quickly, even if someone objects, like Sumit's parents. However, Sumit says that although he does want to marry Jenny more than anything, he also doesn't want to give up on his parents. So he invites his younger brother Amit and his wife Shri over to the house to see if they can help with convincing the parents to accept his upcoming marriage to Jenny. But Amit and Shri basically tell Sumit, look, we can accept you having Jenny as a friend, but ain't no way in hell we gonna accept this marriage, and our parents damn sure ain't gonna accept her, and neither is society. See, Sumit is his parents' eldest son, and society mandates that it's his responsibility to take care of his parents in their old age. But they're worried that he'll be too damn busy taking care of Jenny's old ass to be able to fulfill his duties to them. Sumit's brother and sister-in-law also tell him, don't try to hide this ring ceremony from your parents because it's just going to make things worse. So although they may not accept it, you need to go ahead and tell them, because if you don't, you could lose your relationship with them forever. So Sumit invites his parents over to the house to break the news, and it goes just about the way you would have expected. Sumit and Jenny try to reason with his parents and tell them how much they're in love and want their blessing to get married, but his parents are like, nope, sorry bitch, ain't nobody came here to give you our blessing, we came here to rescue your ass from this old lady in the shoe ass bitch and take your ass back home with us. Sumit's parents tell him he needs a damn reality check, and Jenny old Nidra Bowles looking ass will never be able to give him a child, and hell, her own damn children are decades older than Sumit. They say, hell, if you're gonna marry this 200-year-old bitch, why stop there? Go on to Egypt and dig up a damn mummy and marry that motherfucker too. No matter what Sumit says, his parents are absolutely hysterical that their son is planning to marry Betty White's damn grandmother here, and Sumit's mama even threatens to kill her damn self if he goes through with this wedding. And poor Jenny just sitting there not even knowing what's going on exactly, but of course she can tell the conversation is not going well. And it doesn't get any better when she finally does get Sumit to translate what his parents are actually saying. Then Sumit's parents tell him, look, you need to get away from her ass. I think whatever the fuck she got is contagious and it's rubbing off on you. You starting to look old as hell too. So they say, you better quit hanging around with Jenny's ass and come the fuck home before you turn into a damn reverse Benjamin Button up in this motherfucker. So Sumit throws a Hail Mary and get on the damn ground and start throwing a damn tantrum and demanding his parents accept his relationship with Jenny. And I was like, bruh, throwing a damn toddler tantrum isn't really gonna help your case if you're trying to prove to your parents that you're mature enough to handle a relationship with damn Grandma Moses over here. As expected, Sumit's parents are unmoved by his performance, and his mama starts pleading with Jenny to please leave her damn son alone and go on back to the old folks' home where she belongs. But Jenny refuses to go back to Shady Pines.
Shady Pines, Ma.
And Sumit's mama tells her she should be ashamed of her damn self.
Shame.
She then reiterates to Sumit that she will kill herself if he tries to marry Jenny's old ass, so Sumit has no choice but to agree to put the marriage on hold. So fast forward to season 3, and the pandemic, along with the disapproval from Sumit's family, has Jenny and Sumit still in a holding pattern. But Jenny is getting fed up with all the uncertainty, especially since the pandemic has complicated things with her tourist visa. Since many countries have restricted travel, Jenny can't leave the country every 6 months, as is required by her visa, and she's tired of having to just cross her fingers every month and pray that the Indian government will continue having mercy on her ass and granting her extensions to stay in the country. And furthermore, Jenny is getting fed up with being excluded from all of the family functions and events, and she feels all alone since Sumit still has his family there, but she doesn't have anyone in India other than Sumit. Now, another development this season is that Sumit's sister-in-law, Shri, is pregnant, and his parents are of course ecstatic since they can't hold their breath waiting on Sumit's ass to give them a grandchild. So the family has a special ceremony to celebrate Shri's pregnancy, and Sumit decides to attend the ceremony in order to celebrate the occasion and also take that opportunity to let his parents know that he and Jenny are officially engaged, and he wants to be able to start including her on family events moving forward. But once again, Sumit's parents are not having the bullshit, and they like, motherfucker, please, you ain't bringing that crypt keeper looking ass lady up in here. Y'all can both stay y'all asses at home if that's the case, and they storm off. So Sumit and Jenny decide to organize some family counseling, where Sumit's parents reiterate their concerns to the counselor about how society will ostracize them for having a son that married an old ass Cloris Leachman looking ass motherfucker like Jenny. And besides, they're worried that her old American ass not going to be able to take care of Sumit and fulfill all the traditional duties of an Indian wife and daughter-in-law. So the counselor gets Sumit's parents to agree to give Jenny a chance to learn. So they agree to move in with Sumit and Jenny for a while so Sumit's mama can teach Jenny how to play her damn role. Now obviously Jenny isn't ecstatic about this, but in all honesty it's the first even slight glimmer of hope she's ever gotten from Sumit's parents. So she reluctantly agrees to give it a shot, at least for an extended weekend. But as soon as they arrive, Sumit's mama is all over Jenny's ass like a damn drill sergeant. She immediately starts going in on Jenny about how she keep a nasty ass house, pointing out all the shit that needs to be clean and putting Jenny's old ass to work like a centenarian Cinderella. Then the next day, Sumit's mama starts trying to teach Jenny to cook some traditional Indian meals, and she in the kitchen just roasting the shit out of Jenny's ass. She's telling Jenny she's useless, she's dumb, she don't know how to use her damn brain, and all kind of shit. But thankfully, Sumit's mama doesn't speak English, and Jenny doesn't speak Hindi. So somehow Jenny just interprets all this ridicule as some kind of progress in their mother and daughter-in-law relationship. But Jenny's hope doesn't last long, because later on that same evening, Sumit's mama tells him, look, I tried to teach your granny clampet looking ass bitch over here how to cook, but she's just hopeless. She also feels that Jenny wasn't even putting in that much effort to try to learn, and she tells Jenny, look, you're never going to be able to live up to the expectations of an Indian daughter-in-law, and furthermore, you're not going to be able to handle living in a society where people are going to see you and Sumit together, and they're going to walk up to you laughing in your face, calling you an old hag and shit, looking like damn Sumit's grandmother. And then Jenny claps back at her ass by saying,
I am not old enough to be his grandmother. I'm old enough to be his mother, not his grandmother, okay?
Yeah, you really came back on her with that one, Jenny. So anyway, Jenny is fed up with the insults and the rejection, and this situation just seems hopeless. So Sumit arranges for an astrologer to come over and tell them what the damn future holds for them once and for all. So Sumit's parents start explaining to the astrologer all the issues they have with Sumit's relationship with Jenny, but the astrologer basically tells Sumit's mom and dad they need to fall the fuck back. They are not God and they are not the stars, and it is not up to them to decide Sumit's future. He says y'all need to just stay the fuck out of Jenny and Sumit's business and let destiny run its course. If it's meant to be, it will be no matter what you do, and you run around here acting a damn fool ain't gonna do nothing but drive a wedge between you and your son and make you lose him forever. And the astrologer's words really did seem to get through to Sumit's parents. They say they have always accepted the words of the astrologer, and they will just have to accept his words this time too. So Sumit mama tells Jenny, come on over here and come talk to me. And of course Jenny nervous as hell because she don't have a clue what this woman gonna say to her. But it turns out she says, Jenny, I done had me a change of heart all of a sudden. And it turned out I do love your old Martha Washington looking ass after all. And I'm not gonna stand in the way of your happiness with my son. If you want to be with my son, that's fine with me. And she said, I'm gonna do my best to accept you and love on you. And hell, maybe one day we can be friends. I can take you and show you where I get all my damn Geritol and Metamucil. We can get some damn matching girdles and shit. So obviously Jenny is ecstatic at this news. She get to crying and hugging on him. And she run home to tell Sumit all about the good news. But it turns out it was all a scheme that Sumit's mama and daddy cooked up to come to Jenny with the bullshit. So they figure Sumit just going through a damn rebellious phase. I guess he going through his damn terrible 32s or some shit. So they figure if they just back off and let him think they approve of his relationship with damn Betsy Ross over here, then eventually he'll lose interest and he'll leave on his own. So Sumit mama and daddy done called his bluff and they say, yo move bitch, since you want to marry Louisa May Alcott's old ass so damn bad, go ahead and do it then. And sure enough, they done checkmated on his ass. Now that Sumit don't have his parents to hide behind anymore, he over there sweating bullets at the reality of having to actually get married to Miss Daisy. But Jenny is oblivious and on cloud nine, so she tells Sumit, come on, let's go on down to the marriage lawyer and see when we can get hitched. And to Sumit's surprise and Jenny's delight, the lawyer tells them they can go ahead on and file the paperwork today and get married 30 days from now. Predictably, Jenny is ecstatic, and Sumit is over there looking like somebody need to pass him the damn Pepto. Sumit say he feel like he on a speeding train and he can't get off. Somebody need to inform Sumit that speeding trains usually don't take a damn decade to arrive at their destination. So anyway, after they leave, Sumit old sorry ass went behind Jenny's back, called the lawyer, and told him to put the marriage application on hold. And honestly, at this point, the only thing that surprised me about this is that Sumit only told him to put the application on hold instead of putting the motherfucker in the damn trash where Sumit really wants it to go. But now Sumit's ain't shit ass is feeling a little bit guilty for going behind Barbara Bush's back like this. So he calls his BFF in the hopes that he will co-sign Sumit's BS. But surprisingly, Sumit's BFF is not here for the bullshit. He tells Sumit, now you ought to be ashamed of your damn self, playing games with this old lady like this. Now this lady did not live through the damn Civil War and Depression and smallpox and damn Titanic and all this other shit just to move her ass to India and spend her twilight years with some motherfucker playing games and can't make up his damn mind. So he tells Sumit he's being ridiculous and really he needs to go ahead on and marry her ass. But at the very least he needs to be honest and tell Jenny the truth about what he did. So the next day Sumit's talking to Jenny and she all hyped up telling Sumit that he better let his parents know they better recognize and prepare themselves because in about 30 days they're going to have a new damn great grandma-in-law in town. But then Sumit dropped a bombshell on her ass and confesses what he did with the application and baby Jenny is livid. And rightfully so. Jenny done had it up to here with Sumit's bullshit, and she threatens to pack up all her damn moo-moos and pilot grip and shit and take her ass the fuck home once and for all. The next day, once they've had some time to calm down, they talk and Sumit says, look, I thought it over and I realized that although I do have this fear of marriage, and I have all these negative experiences I've had to live through, I'm just going to have to get over it because my fear of losing Jenny is much greater. So they agree to call the marriage lawyer and put the marriage application through for real this time. And 30 days later, per the astrologer's advice, Jenny and Sumit have a small, simple, yet beautiful ceremony in the temple. And although Sumit's parents had promised not to stand in their way, Sumit and Jenny decided to play it safe by not inviting them to the wedding or even informing them. They know this decision will certainly have repercussions, but for now, Jenny and Sumit are just over the moon to finally be married against all odds. So, what does the future hold for Sumit and Jenny? And how will Sumit's parents react once they find out that their oldest son married the oldest woman alive? Well, we'll just have to stay tuned to next season to find out. Okay, class, so what have we learned? Lesson number 1. Age does not equal wisdom, maturity, or self-respect. If there's one thing we've learned from Jenny's ass, it's that gaining wisdom, maturity, and self-respect is not an automatic process that just comes with age. It actually requires work. Lesson number 2. When somebody is gracious enough to invite you into their home, act like you got some motherfucking sense. Don't repay people's kindness by disrespecting their home and culture by fucking on their damn son under their damn roof. Lesson number 3. If you want to be treated like a damn grown-up, then act like one. You can't be running around here sneaking and lying and disrespecting your parents' home like a damn teenager, then expect them to treat you like an adult and respect your adult-ass life choices. And finally, and most importantly, lesson number 4. Don't be no lying ass, spineless ass, sorry ass bastard. Well, that's all for today, class. I hope you enjoyed this session and found this information useful. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to keep up with the professor and make sure you never miss a lecture, go ahead and hit that notification bell and follow me on IG, TikTok, and Twitter at Professor of Mess. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Class dismissed.